The worst mistake
This
ever.
is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Hannah Pryde, real estate broker and migration expert.
And so ended up coming to Dubai for New Year and then never ever leaving. I even got taken in from the headmaster being like, you're not going to survive at this new school, like you're not smart enough. What was I not doing was more the question. Like I was partying, I was doing uni, I was working. That is when I realised how hard of worker I was. You actually don't get to choose which life you're brought up into, but then you can really choose how you make it when you come into your 20s and 30s.
Everything that you've done is like building up to do real estate.
And I think he's just like a Tinder swindler and didn't have the money and just wanted to hang out with me. Honestly, the amount of times I was like I don't know what I'm doing wrong. That was a freaking kick in the teeth. Because I was like, that value was like 50 million dirhams. That's 10 million pound sale. That was like my biggest sales. I think it was probably been around like 500,000 pounds. The next 6 months is crazy. And I'm now building this AI business. And now we're getting up to deals of like 40 million. And now we're hopefully going to start closing deals at like 20 million, 40 million, 50 million. Like crave it. I crave it so much. It's like the thrill of it. It's wild.
Welcome to the show where we talk to successful people about the bits you don't see. Today we're talking to Hannah Pryde, real estate broker and migration expert. Hannah, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I am good, thank you. I'm looking forward to chatting, although we've obviously just spoke for an hour before we've started. So we might be re-saying a lot of the stuff that we just said. But tell me what your story is.
So I moved to Dubai 5 years ago, 6 years at Christmas, which is crazy, from a random holiday. I was meant to move to Japan, ended up not being able to get there because of COVID, ended up flying to Ibiza, living there, working there and doing university in Japan, made a lot of friends and they all moved to Dubai. And I went back home and I was like, I'm going to go, I don't know where I'm going to go. Like, let's go back to uni. And then uni never opened. So ended up coming to Dubai for New Year and then never ever leaving. And I was so lucky at the time because in Scotland you obviously get paid to be at uni. We don't get paid, but you have a student loan, basically getting paid. And I was doing a rebrand for a charity at the time as an internship, and me and my sister were building this barn. We done events and whatnot. So I was fine being here. I had enough money. And then April came and I kept extending. My parents were like, when are you coming home? And I just kept extending. Then March came in, we went on red list, couldn't get home. And I was writing my dissertation at the time. And then April came, my mum and dad were like, right, you're going to have to get a job now because my internship was coming to an end. Student funding and finance was coming to an end. And I was like, shit. So I met these people in a club. They gave me a job. And then the rest is history. I've now been here. I've set up a business. I'm in real estate. I've had a podcast. And now I'm starting a new business, which is really crazy when you think my dream was probably to like leave uni and get a graduate program. And then I think how much I've done within that 5 years of time where some people are still just like passing probations of like whatever graduate scheme they've gone into, which is wild with how much life experience and everything I've learned here. But it's been an absolute roller coaster. But I'm very lucky and grateful I came at a time where I'm just moving like from uni. You've not really got expectations and it's just a gradually kind of gone up. I mean, there's been a lot of lows and a lot of highs, but it's not as if I've gone from like a really successful career in the UK and then trying to transition. I've just kind of started out here and learned a lot of my mistakes while working and trying things out in Dubai, which is perfect rather than the other way around.
A lot of that story is really similar to me because obviously I think about this a similar time to you. I came for a 4 or 5 day holiday. No, I came for a week holiday and I had 4 days worth of clothes. Ended up having to buy more clothes and then added on 2 weeks and then added on 3 months and then now I'm here.
I think everyone done that during COVID because there was nothing. Period, there was nothing. And then do you know what I've seen now? A lot of people that actually went home, like a lot of people decided, I'm just going to go home March. Like I'm scared, I better get home. The partying's over, etc. They've all moved back and they all say to me, like, I wish I stayed. I can't believe I've not done anything, but they're like, I can't believe how much you've came on in those 4 years. Whereas in the UK, maybe they've not progressed as much as they would like to when they kind of look at, or you and I's both story that we've done a lot in a time because I swear time in Dubai just flies. It's so much quicker. So I always say what you get done in a year or 6 months in Dubai would take you 3 years in the UK. So they always say, we wish we stayed, but living in Dubai and doing what we did was hard. It was really hard. And like,
I never found it hard. I loved every bit of it.
I loved every bit of it. It was all part of the journey, but there was a lot of struggles. There was a lot of lows. There was a lot of times I've been like, how am I paying rent this month? Or like, how am I was a lot younger than you. Or like, what am I doing?
The businesses. I'm quite lucky that I had all that.
Like I was starting a business thousands of miles away from home, never really running a business in a foreign country, not knowing anything about business setup or immigration, just telling people, yeah, I can do that, don't worry about me. And then going into real estate, again, complete different, well, it works well with immigration, but like a complete different aspect to anything I'd really done in the UK. So I think there was a lot of times I was like, what am I doing? Should I just go get a graduate job? Should I go back to get the steady income?
Yeah. So, right, give me a little snapshot of where you're at now, and then we'll go way back.
So, where I'm at now, I've been now in real estate for 2.5 years. 2.5 years, yeah, 2.5 years. And then Pride Migration's 3 years old at Christmas, which is wild. Started a podcast. I think the podcast now, as I was just saying, I think we've now ended that. It's had its time, 40 episodes, learnt a lot, but what it was originally out to do, it didn't do. So sometimes you have to cut the costs and decide, like, is that what it's meant to do? The ROI, return on investment, is it coming back? On like a shitty thing like a podcast, I look at everything as ROI. I'm like, right, that's that done. And now I am starting in the process of building my little baby, a new AI business with some fantastic engineers and founders. But yeah, mainly real estate, and I would say an add-on to real estate with this AI business. I've got Hala and Libby now helping with Pride Migration, which is fantastic. So they focus on that, and I focus on the sales.
Good. Right, we'll come on to a bit of a deeper dive into all that soon, but let's go all the way back. Talk about your childhood, because you had a bit of a different childhood to probably most people.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
I had a great childhood. I was so lucky. So I went to school in Scotland, and it was a very sports school. We were all just kind of put into sports. Very, very highly dyslexic, as most people know that have worked for me. Honestly, if you ask me to read most things, it will be butchered. I've got no idea how to pronounce words, spelling, or anything. So when I was at school, I kind of had it a bit tough. I had it easy, but I had it tough because I had to learn how to communicate very well from a young age because I wasn't really doing my writing or reading. I was just telling people what they would tell me, what I wanted to say. And then I moved school in high school, which was a shock. I even got taken in from the headmaster being like, you're not going to survive at this new school. Like, you're not smart enough. Imagine telling that to a 12-year-old. Like,
crazy.
He sat me down. His name was Mr. Owen. And he was like, Hannah, you should not be moving to school. Like, you're not smart enough. People at Dollar Academy are really smart. We don't even know how you've passed the test. But I am like a woman with a bone when I want something. So I walked up to my mum one day and I was like, I'm going to move to Dollar. Most people get tests to go to, like, tutors to pass the test at Dollar. She was like, all right, Hannah. My mum and dad never said no. They would just be like, you're better failing and learning than us not letting you try. So she was like, okay. So she called up Dollar and she was like, hi, have you got any tests coming up for Hannah? And they're like, yeah, we actually do. Like, we've got one in a few weeks. So I went in to the room and sat down, and they asked me to write an essay in a different language. Can barely speak English. A maths test, an English test, a speaking test, math. Like, there was a lot of tests sat there. I didn't complete most of the test. I just chatted to this lady, and she must really liked me. And I got a call 3 days later being like, Hannah has passed. My mum was like, are you sure? Yeah. And they were like, yeah, she's passed. But they were like, we understand she's got learning difficulties. It's fine. We'll give her help. We've got an LLS department. And at this school, not many people had learning support. There was probably... I probably only got in because they're probably needing to add up the numbers, but we do let people in with
tick the box.
But I just sat and spoke. And at that school, we used to do loads and loads of academic stuff. I'd gone from a school that all we done was sports, like canoeing, any sport you can imagine. We probably done it to fill up our times. Like we weren't very English and literature wasn't our thing at that school. It was very much like play and learn. So they ended up, I wasn't allowed to do classics, Latin, tech. There was loads of classes I wasn't allowed to do, and I had to do extra English to catch me up to like the year, which obviously is really embarrassing. Imagine when you're 13 and everyone's like, why are you not in class? And I'm like, oh, got to go lick windows in LS. Like, sorry, back there. So then it came to like, I was fine at that school. I thrived actually at it because I never wanted to be the thickest in the class.
Right. And
there was a lot of people there, and I was like, I'm not going to be the thickest. So I would always like really push. And they were really great with me. Whatever I was good at, they just told me to focus on. So like I was really good at art, I was really good at business because I'm not thick, I'm just not good at processing stuff. I'm really good at puzzles. And that's where I thrived in business and economics and all that stuff because I was like, I understand it because it was more or less like real life situations, geography, history, modern studies, had not a bloody clue what was going on because I couldn't see it in real time. So it just didn't make sense to me, which is really interesting. And then after that, I came to like 5th year, 16. I was like, I'm done with school. I don't like it anymore. I'm done. Mum and Dad are like, what? And they're like, yep, I'm done. I'm going to leave. And they're like, right, we'll only let you leave if you get into uni. So bold on me again, was like, right, I'll get into uni, don't worry. So I decided I'm really bloody great at art, so I'm going to go to art school. And they were like, all right, crack on, Hannah. Yeah. So they just kind of left me to it, as I said. And then I applied for uni a year early, and I applied to the University of Arts in London, fashion school in Glasgow and whatnot, and I got in. Much to everyone's shock. The deputy head director, David Dollar, actually called me. And he was like, well done, Hannah. Like, there was the uni my top choice got into, there was only 12 spots. And I got into it, and I was a year below everyone that got into it. And he was like, I'm shocked here. But then I didn't go.
Oh, right.
And then he called me. I was going absolutely berserk on the phone, like, why are you not going? And I was like, I've realised I can't go out clubbing in London because I'm not old enough. And I don't want to be away from my family. And my mum and dad have scared me that you need ID to go everywhere. And I think they were probably a bit scared. Like, do we really want to send our daughter to London to, like, where the university was, the fashion bit was in King's Cross. Like, it was big. I'm from the countryside. Like, the closest Zara to me at that time was not in walking distance. Like, I'm from Fields. So my dad was like, right, you got into uni, so we'll stick to our word. You don't have to go back to school. However, you need to get a job. So bold of me, went to Mallorca that summer, had a laugh, and then got a job by writing a cover letter to my best bosses ever, Chris and Kelly, saying, I love cocktails. Not even 18. I love cocktails. I'll show you how they're done. And Chris called me being like, that's the funniest cover letter we've ever had. Come for an
You're
interview.
just different, aren't you? All the stuff that you do is just different to like what normal people do.
Exactly.
And that's obviously helped you.
Yeah. And like, I'd never written a cover letter in my life, but like I was having a joke. I was probably had a little drink in me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, so Chris was like, come and have an interview. So I ended up working with Chris and Kelly my whole life after that in the UK, and I worked with them when they first done. I think I was on like their third wedding, and Chris was the owner, Kelly was the owner, and then there was a guy called James that hired me, bartender. He got fired the week I got hired for writing a dick on a paper during a meeting, and then I was 17, like I was young, and Chris and Kelly like, no, but you're a grafter, so come work with us. So they took me under the wing, and I also at the same time got a job with Mini and BMW, and I'd done their administration. And that was me for like my gap year. My dad made me go to college as well, because then in that year I decided I wanted to study economics. To get into economics at Glasgow or Edinburgh, I had to have like straight A's, and I got 3 A's and a B. So my dad was like, if you go to college and do a 6-month crash course while you're working, you'll be able to get into uni. So I ended up doing that, getting the qualification, but then deciding I wanted to be a primary teacher. The worst mistake
This
ever.
is a roller coaster.
Yeah, no, trust me, my parents were like biting their nails and like, what the hell's going on? So I called Glasgow and I was like, I don't actually want to do economics, by the way. I want to be a primary school teacher. And they're like, well, you're going to have to take another gap year if you want to do it. We don't have any places, because that's probably one of the best unis to do it. So I was like, all right, okay. Called up Stirling University. That was another one of like my places. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. We'll transfer you across, no bother at all. Went to Stirling and hated primary school teaching. I realised in like the first month when I done my first like they sent you to do, I'd never done like work experience. Went to a P1 class. First of all, I can't spell. Stand up at the thing, they asked me to spell something.
They're teaching you to spell. Little 5-year-olds are like, no, that's wrong.
And I sat there, and honestly, it's the first time in my life, sheer embarrassment. And thank God they didn't know, but the teacher was like, that's not how you spell it. And the teachers obviously look at me being like, I know you went to private school, how can you not spell? Yeah. Like, and it just didn't work. So after that, I went back to uni, and I was like, don't
So how long did you last at that?
Well, I just transferred course into business and like marketing and economics at uni. So thankfully, like just done semester 1, moved into business, glided it. Very lucky. However, I was a workaholic at uni. So first year and second year, I barely went to any classes, and I just worked for Kelly and Chris, and we'd do all the different events. And that was probably where I really got my confidence, because I loved that job so much. And the people we got to meet was amazing. And like, I didn't feel like a number. Like I felt like a part of the family. And the job changed, was so diverse that we would help people. I would have one meeting with Kelly, and she'd be like, right, we're doing a food tasting. The next day I'd be then like helping Graham in the chef in the kitchen make brownies and cut vegetables. The next day I'd be stacking a bloody muddy van to then take to the venue to then like lay out all the cutlery and the plates and build the tables and put the tables and meet this like the wedding people, and then the Saturday and Sunday I'd be serving the guests and whatnot, and it changed every week. So like having such a diverse job, I adored it, and then I would just cram all my uni work in the Monday and Tuesday. Then it came to like second year of uni, and then one of the people I worked at a wedding worked for Tom Ford, and he worked for Diageo, and I was doing business, and I was like, I really want an internship. And they were like, well, you've done a cracking job, we'll give you an internship. Then I heard nothing for a full 6 months, and I was like, she must have given me the wrong number, like, oh, whatever. So kept working, kept doing uni, and then we were doing with Chris and Kelly whiskey tasting at Diageo, which was like, they have like the most insane whiskey cellar you've ever seen, and we used to do private events in there. Who walks through the door? The husband. And he goes, Hannah, we have been trying to get in contact with you
way.
and you didn't reply. And I was like, no, I tried to get in contact with you. And he was like, no, we really want to give you an internship. Like, you've done
like the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah. Like, we were laughing. It was like a Tuesday afternoon. And I'm like, what, 19 at the time, speaking to this like 30-year-old. He was like, no, we said we'd give you one, but like, we've never seen you. He was like, next day I got a call from his wife. Yeah, we've got you an internship. You have to start in 2 weeks in London. You're going to go into sales e-commerce. 1, unpaid internship. 2, never been to London. And 3, I was like...
Never been to London?
No, like, I've been to London with the family, but never lived there. Like, didn't know it, and I'm 19 in London. So I went, 2 weeks later, called my friend Isla, thank God to her. She went to uni in London, and she was like, babe, I'm travelling. Take my flat, like, absolutely fine. And that just really shows, like, your network is your net worth. Like, me trying to get a flat in London with no salary or anything for 12 weeks. I was like, how am I going to do it? My parents are very strict as well. They're always like, if you want something, you need to work for it, you need to try it. They paid for our schooling, but they're like, everything in life, if we give you the money and you fail, it's not an effect to you, it's an effect to us, so you need to learn the failures, and you're young, who cares? So that you can go to London where you're going to have to sort it out yourself. So I went to King's Cross, stayed there. It was a fabulous location, and it was weird because it was right next to where I was meant to go to uni, and I didn't know that until I got there, and I'd see all these art students, and I was like, oh my God, that was the uni I was meant to go to, because I never went to see the uni. I just found out it was the best uni I wanted to go to, so I was like, yeah, let's go there. And I got a girl shop at the job at the weekend selling shots to make money, because I was like, I need to get a job at the weekend if I'm not getting paid for Thomas Ford. So day 1 went in. Estee Lauder's building was right off Oxford Street. Phenomenal. But I hated it. I'd gone from like this fast-paced job, knowing everyone, feeling like I was an asset to the team, to me legit looking on the internet every day. Has Selfridges used one of our Tom Ford lipsticks as their product page, and I was like, 3 weeks in, I am like numb to the brain. Do you know when you're just not even trying anymore? And it was like, I was so excited for that internship. It was all I ever wanted. And then I was like, this is not for me. Like, get me back filling vans and like running around and meeting people. Like, why am I sitting at a laptop filling in spreadsheets, being like, how many clicks did we get on? And I was like, whoa, no. So I ended up finishing the internship early. I was like, this isn't for me. And just
You're
said
good
to
at
them,
that.
yeah, I'm just in and out. See, if I don't like something, I'm like, this isn't for me. What who am I trying to improve? Like, I'm not trying to impress anyone. It's not helping them. Like, they're not paying me to be here. But it was really interesting because when I was there, I was loving doing shot girling, and I was making so much money. I had never even been in this industry. I'd wear what I'm wearing now, like jeans and a blazer in a little bar in Fulham, the Horseshoe, great laugh, and was making all these friends and making hundreds and hundreds of pounds selling shots.
Which at that age would be unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Like, I was having a ball. I was shopping on Oxford Street, like on my lunch break. Like, this is great, living the dream. And when I was there, I was applying for an intern, like for a scholarship to go to Japan for the next year of uni, because I was just wanting to travel. Obviously.
Why not?
So that's also like why I was really wanting the internship, because you have to build this like personal statement of like, this is what I've done. And like, I'd done internships at school, but like a week working in the bank isn't really going to help you. It just shows that your parents maybe know someone. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they wanted grit and they wanted to show you could work. So that's why I really wanted it. And I was loving shot girling. Met someone that worked for Alexander McQueen, and I had said to him, I was like, I was meant to study fashion, but I ended up going into business. And he was like, well, instead of going to Japan next year, I'll give you a full working experience, like gap year in uni, to work for Alexander McQueen. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, like, you'll love it. Like, you should live here and you should learn about it. But I was also applying for Japan. And then I got accepted in Japan. So then I was like, oh, did I take one of the other, like...
Did you speak Japanese?
No. It was
what
like
was
Rikkyō
the
University
there?
is like one of the top business schools in Japan. And I was just like, gap year at Rikkyō University. Sick. Never been there. Like, I'm always for like...
You've got something wrong with you, don't you?
I love trying things that no one tried. And my best friend George at the time got in, and I was like, I was doing good Japan. Karaoke. Japan's, I've still never been. We're going in March. I am so excited.
I really want to go there. That's like the number one place that I want to go that I've not been.
That's like me. And I had gone for loads of like things with uni about going to Japan. I actually got an internship when I was over there for Sterling Uni doing their TikTok. Imagine if I'd taken that now with how big TikTok was. I didn't even know what TikTok was. And they were like, do you want to do the TikTok for when you're in Japan and like film it? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. No bother. Sweet. I'll do that. Because I was just a yes person. Still am a yes person. My biggest problem. And, but at that summer, so I was going away to Japan in the March, but they wanted me to start the internship in the October. And this would have been July time. And I was sitting like, Mum, what do I do? Like, Alexander McQueen, can I just tell you, was the first pair of designer shoes I ever bought myself at 13 in Harvey Nicks. I was obsessed with Alexander McQueen. Like, that was the brand that had so much, like, I remember they done collabs with Puma every year, and I'm like, I want a pair. And these were not cool. They're not like the ones that went viral with the platform. These were just red shoes that were like, I just loved Alexander McQueen. Loved the crosses, loved the studs, loved everything about it. Anyway, decided, no. Japan is like a once in a lifetime. Rikkyō's the best business school in Japan. Phenomenal. And like we had done a lot of classes about like culture in Japan, because M&S lost a 1 billion deal in Japan because they paid for the dinner. Right. In Japan, if you get invited out for dinner by anyone, you bring a card. If it's a male, you bring it with a square edge, and if it's a female, it's a round edge. And they open a different, I'm not going to say because I'll probably get it wrong, like left to right one way, right to left the other, and you bring them a present. If you pay for the bill, that is the worst thing you can do in Japanese culture. That is so rude. Like, the rudest thing ever. So I was like, this is such a cultural experience. Like, you're learning about business. I love karaoke. I love fashion. Japan, I'm going to go. Then so when I went back, I was doing uni for that term. And then I took on another internship in the January until the March when I was going to Japan as an accounts internship, because I was like, maybe I like the math side, so I'll go work as an accountant. I was awful at that. I was so bad. I think my dyslexia and everything, and how many numbers and doing invoices, everything was wrong. The spelling was wrong, dates were wrong. My sister honestly looked like she was going to have a nervous breakdown because she worked in the firm. She was like, what the hell is going on? I think that was the first time she realised how dyslexic I was, because that was probably the first time I was left to my own devices to actually like do admin without someone looking over me or like helping. She was like, Hannah, like you're missing full sentences. I was like, yeah, I'm dyslexic. Honestly, why don't you know this? Like, Christ. But yeah, she was so embarrassed. I honestly thought she was going to have a nervous breakdown. But then in that time period, COVID got announced. So I was finishing up my internship and due to fly to Japan the same weekend COVID was announced. It's like national, but I hadn't done any uni. So then when COVID happened, like I started doing university in Japan, but from Zoom, which was also crazy, like weird.
Well, so you're living in the UK
but doing
uni in Japan.
Because their semesters are March, April till July, August, roughly. Can't remember.
Right.
But they do different seasons to us. So yeah, I was like in COVID, all my friends were finished and I was starting to do like this new modules from Japan. Took on another job, B&M's. Obviously. Decided I was going to work at B&M's because my parents were going to pull my, like I was just getting sick of this. I'm such a social butterfly when I was at uni, out all the time, could do what I want, to now like the first 3 weeks, great time. Me and my parents became so close, my family loved it. End of month, I was like, oh my God, get me out of this house. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I need to do something. I don't want to sit inside. So I was working at B&M's. A great laugh, especially during COVID. I have never seen so many monstrosities in that shop. People that would steal, like I was exposed to a full new thing. It was wild. I'd stand
and you come from like private school and like a very like boxed existence. And you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like it was a right laugh. Like genuinely, it was a laugh because people were just going wild in B&M's. Like genuinely. As if they'd never been out. And people think then we're getting so much money from the government that some people that were maybe on benefits and whatnot were coming in here being like, it was like Christmas to them. They were buying, like, remember how hot it was? pools, water guns, like anything they could. Every day of B&Ms would be sold out. There'd be nothing there. There would be a queue around the car park for people trying to get in.
To spend their benefits on paddling pools.
Shit. Genuinely, you've never seen anything like it, ever. And it was a great laugh. Anyway, 1st of July came, I'd saved up all this money from my accounts internship, because that was a paid one, thankfully, and working in B&Ms, and decided I'm going to go to Ibiza. First flight out of here, I'm going to Ibiza, because I'd gone to Ibiza the year prior, but 2 years prior. I'd gone to Ibiza every year since I was 19, and that first year I went there, I wanted to stay there, but I'd got a job in America, and my dad was like, "No, you're going to America."
We're just dropping in the America one now as well.
No, but that was ages ago. I was just teaching water skiing over there. It was a really good job. I loved it, but that was my dad was like, "You're going to America, you've water skied your whole life, you'll be exposed to an amazing thing." And it was a great thing. The year after, I was doing my internship, and I wanted to stay in Ibiza, but then I got offered internships. I was like, obviously I'm going to do an internship, so I would just go back and forth to Ibiza. This year, I was like, this is my perfect timing. Never thought I'd be able to get there because of Japan, so I'm going to go live in Ibiza. And I was so lucky, I got my NIE, so I could work there, whereas no one else could. I don't know how I got it. Me and my friend Minnie applied for it on the same day, and I got mine. She never got hers, and now I've got a Spanish bank account. Because of this NIE. Brexit's now a thing and everything now, so it still benefits me. It'd be easier for me to get citizenship over there, but weird how I got it. So when I was over in Ibiza, I was finishing my uni in Japan, and then I got a job at WikiWoo. Wiki woo woo woo. Genuinely, that was the wildest 8 weeks of my life ever.
And what were you doing there?
What was I not doing was more the question. I was partying, I was doing uni, I was working. That is when I realised how hard of worker I was. And I was so frugal with my money then that I lived in San Antonio Bay, and I worked at WikiWoo, and I would walk to work every single day, do an 8-hour shift, walk back, do my university, and then go out partying all night, and then do it again. I was... If you look back pictures then, I was a swollen little gal. Because I had no sleep. I was living on 2-3 hours, handing work into Japanese uni, working 8-hour shifts at WikiWoo, and then going to villa parties. And the problem there was, it wasn't like the clubs were shutting. Yeah. We were having villa parties. They never ended. Yeah. I'd be sitting there and people would be like, "Oh my God, what the hell's going on with you? Who are you texting?" I'm like, "Sorry, Japanese tutor, just need to get this done." ChatGPT just started being then. Yeah. So I was using that a lot for help and stuff. I was probably should not have passed. I was really finding bits of sources on the internet, getting because ChatGPT couldn't search then, but you could get it to reword stuff so it wouldn't come up with copyright. So I was doing all that. Honestly, I was forging the system 100%. Yeah. Looking back, it's funny because I passed, but bloody hell, if that wasn't a thing, there would be no way I would have passed uni doing what I was doing over there. I don't even know how I survived. And then I came back and had a blast, and I met some of the most amazing people over there that just opened my eyes to this sheltered life of living in the countryside, being at school, working jobs, the jobs we work at the weddings, we would charge a lot. These were multi-million, hundreds of thousands pound weddings. These weren't just your average Joe wedding. These were people, we done Calvin Harris's event, we done massive events, and we'd work on film sets and whatnot. So it wasn't I was getting exposed to that. This was the first time I'd been exposed to everything. And I met the most amazing people, and what they taught me in every aspect, even from business. Obviously you're meeting dealers and wheelers and everything else. I was like, bloody hell, how? And I just loved it. And I really realized at that point, you actually don't get to choose which life you're brought up into, but then you can really choose how you make it when you come into your 20s and 30s. The amount of people that I had horrific upbringings that were now flying, and I'm not even saying from the dodgy stuff, they were telling me what they were now doing, because Ibiza really brings a diverse group to people. I know people that are multi-millionaires that live there. I know celebrities that are there. I know people that are from the ghetto live there. I know people from generally everyone, but everyone goes to the same door and everyone goes out the same door and everyone sits and chats in the smoking thing, and it's such a weird concept, but I love it. And so I met every walk of life, and I was like, this island still, I'm that island has got the best part of my heart. I love it. So then when I came back, everyone from there that I met, workers and whatnot, they were like, "Oh, we're going to Dubai. That's where you do your next season." I hated Dubai. I'd been there when I was younger, and I had the worst jellyfish sting of my life. I just never wanted to come back. So when I came back, I basically just got back into working, took on a job at Amazon building.
How many jobs have you had?
I've had so many jobs.
All of them? You've had every single one?
Yeah, generally every job, because I've always been obsessed with making money. And I've always, as I said, my parents always said to us, you can have whatever you want, but you have to afford it yourself. So I honestly, when I lived in the UK, if I wasn't out partying, I was working. There was no rest time. There was no me sitting watching TV. My boyfriend still laughs, being like, have you not seen that? I was like, well, when would I have watched it? Because at school, I was in school from 7 a.m. I'd leave from school, and at night I would go water skiing at the lake close to us, or I'd be playing hockey, or I'd be horse riding. I was never just sitting around, and I'd just redo it all the time. So I was always in the fast lane, go to uni, and I was just working or partying. There was no in between, or doing uni course in that small amount of time. And so when I came back, I was like, right, I'm going to take the Amazon shifts during the night, because you get paid double time. So you get £14 an hour, and I'll take a Wednesday off because that's sports night out at uni. Perfect. Suits me fine. Sleep during the day, and I'll do uni and whatever. So from the September until the December, I'd done every single night shift there was, any Saturday shifts, because there wasn't any weddings or anything on yet, because it's COVID. Every Saturday shift I would do nights, do uni work, go out on a Wednesday. That was my life. You couldn't get a hold of me. And if I wasn't doing a shift, sometimes I'd even go out partying and go to shift, because I was just having to. It was great. Although one of the funnest jobs is seeing what people return to Amazon. And Amazon just chuck everything out.
Do they?
Yeah, they don't care.
So what are they returning?
Anything and everything, broken things and everything. And unless it's an Amazon product, Amazon products will get fixed. Everything else just got chucked in the bin.
Oh, wow.
It was mad. And the fulfillment centre was huge. It's one in Dunfermline.
Oh, it's mad. You drive past it for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, babe, when you're working in it.
Yeah.
It was the most systematic. It's such an interesting thing, because obviously the job I'm in now, that is, no wonder he makes so much money. Everyone's in at this time, lunch at this time. We wouldn't speak to each other. You'd sit with headphones on and just unpack, pack, unpack. And there was a different section for whatever you're doing. So what I done on returns. So all I would do is return. There'd be a yellow box, green box, blue box, a conveyor belt. Conveyor belt was for all Amazon stuff, and then the other box colours would be depending what it was. Say if it was broken, if it was fine, or if it was junk, and that would all go in the bin. Oh. The maddest job I've ever worked for. Great job, because I was making bank, had nowhere to spend it, everything was shut. And then that's what afforded me to get to Dubai, because I was doing that. I had an internship at the time for the Cowans Trust. That's a charity, which is actually where the sterling pound's from. And I was basically doing their rebrand, because it was the Cowans is a town hall in Stirling that no one was using. And I was like, we can make this an event space. I've got the experience in it, and then it will attract more money to bring money into the Cowans Trust. So I was working with my vendors that I'd used at the thingy, at bespoke catering events, helping doing their marketing and giving them ideas. Great job. It was remote as well. So when I moved to Dubai, finished off Amazon, just had Amazon, not come back. Thanks very much. Great time. I'm now living in Dubai, and kept doing that internship and done uni. And then that's how I'm here in Dubai.
So let me get that a bit right? So you've come here 5 years ago, so you were 21.
21.
We've just got to 21.
Yeah.
You've had more jobs than
most people.
Not even years of life, weeks of life.
Yeah, genuinely. Because honestly, the longest job I've had was bespoke catering events. That was from the age of 17 until COVID.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I stopped. Genuinely, I loved that job. And Kelly's been out here to see me. We're best friends. Yeah. She taught me so much. That business is now worth multi-million pounds. They're now doing jobs in Dubai that's they do all the catering for they don't for Top Gear, Jurassic Park. They do all the catering for every movie set. They've smashed what they've done, and being able in that startup when we were just taking on anything to now scaling to global multi-million events is one of the best bits of experience I've ever had. Yeah. And they are grafters. Kelly and Chris are the only bosses I've ever had that wouldn't ask me to do something that they wouldn't do themselves. Someone was sick all over a bar, and Kelly turned to me and was like, "You're not paid enough for me to for you to clean that up," and cleaned it up herself.
That's good.
The best bosses I've ever had. So yeah, I had a wild as I said, I was just not someone that could sit still. So if there was any aspect to make money, I was there. Yeah. I was just, what's the point of just chilling? Yeah. That's something I actually struggle with now in Dubai, because real estate in Dubai and whatnot isn't always you're doing 101 things, whereas all the jobs I'd done at home were I was always doing something. It was always very me doing something, manual. Whereas now I'm just calling, and you make so much money now for these things that sometimes I'm wow, for doing so much less than what I'd done back home. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I done a lot back home, and then I moved here, and I fell into it because I couldn't get home. I met a great guy called Naz and Ray, and I'd done passport selling.
What does that mean?
The most random job and an industry that I never
It doesn't sound
heard
legal.
Of. It doesn't, fully legal.
Right.
And it's a reason why now the UK has lost so much money, because they've stopped it. So I had finished uni and met Naz on a night out, and he was like, yeah, come for an interview. I'll give you a job. Like, you can speak to anyone. You just need to speak to people on this job. So what I done is I worked in a business in Business Bay, an office in Business Bay, and we sold a program that the UK used to do called the Sole Representative and the Innovator Program. So the way the UK government used to get so much international investment into the UK was they would allow people from India, Syria, Iran, any country around the world to come to the UK or even America and set up their business. If their business generated over $100,000 per year, after 5 years, they'd get a passport.
Right.
So think of all the businesses that have came to the UK from around the world. That's how they do it. And then that's how all the properties were built in Kensington by everyone, because these guys actually had legit businesses, and that's how they could invest. And the Sole Representative was the same. We used to sell this for about £20,000, and I used to get all my business from LinkedIn. Great job, but an industry I'd never ever heard of. So the amount of learning I had, I worked for them for a year and a half. The amount of learning in that year and a half was phenomenal, because I was meeting with ultra high net worth people and either giving them a program to either get into the UK, or we'd sell them passports for St. Kitts and Nevis, Vancouver, Guatemala, which are all tax.
Yeah, tax-free places. Yeah.
Right. So this has opened my eyes. Like, I didn't realize people had passports to like divert tax and like offshore companies and like. So think, I've come from uni doing business, and now I'm learning about this full like. Basically applied finance. Yeah,
the real life stuff. Like you'll have learned the theory at uni, and then you'll come over here and go, oh my God, this is nothing like what I was told.
Like nothing. I was told at uni you paid dividends to divert from tax, and then you paid tax.
Yeah.
I wasn't told that you could have multiple passports that could divert tax.
That's like level 2. You're selling level 5.
Yeah, genuinely. And now I'm knowing about like offshore accounts, Cyprus, Jersey. Like, I'm finding out about it. I'm like, wow. So I'm just like taking all this in. Like, this is so much learning. And I'm meeting phenomenal, massive business players from like America or Indians being like, right, we need an American passport for our child to go to university there, because that's actually how they get the unis. They would get like second citizenship to then allow them to apply for uni. They wouldn't apply as an international because of the cost of it. So like, I'm hearing about all these new ways around the world. I'm like, wow, this is how obviously the rich don't pay tax. So it was so interesting. But I mean, I was getting paid 5,000 dirhams a month.
What, as like a basic, and then you're getting a commission on top?
Yeah, but think like when I started, I was just. It was me and a lady called Amy and Fahad. And we all got started. First 3 employees. They'd never done it before in their life. Like, they were learning at the same time. Another startup, what I love. Like, I love a startup. So, yeah, like, 3 months it took me to close my first deal, which is amazing. Now I look back at that. 75,000 dirhams for something that I never met any of the people I sold to. It was all LinkedIn basis and on Zoom. To sell them that is very hard, which it was interesting. And the commission's really good. Now I look at it, real estate, I'm like, bloody hell, I was peed over, but okay. Good line.
But that's only compared to real estate.
Exactly.
That wouldn't be the case compared to literally anything else.
Exactly. And at that time, like, they gave me the stepping stone to stay in Dubai. If I hadn't gone into real estate that way, like, I can have such intellectual conversations with people and help them diversify and invest into Dubai and understand it because I was in that area. So it's actually really benefited me. Like what we were saying before.
Everything that you've done is like building up to do real estate.
Legit. It's all in hindsight. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially now, like everything I do, I sometimes think like, why did I do that at the time? And I stop it and I look back and I'm like, oh my goodness, like
that's taught me that thing.
Yeah, that's now made me really good at this thing. And like one of the deals I've got on this weekend is Indian clients. And like I was, I used to do this. You can do X, Y, Z, and we can speak to this wealth manager. And they're like, wow, it helps me now a lot more because they're like, you actually know your shit. Whereas usually it's people saying, let me ask, or I don't understand what you're saying because they only understand where they're from. So it was really good. I was in that for 2 years, and then the Russian war started. And then the UK basically effed themselves over because they stopped all these programs. Right. So when they stopped all these programs, I had a client there that had a Bugatti in Kensington that they stopped his program. Now he couldn't physically get into London, and he had a Bugatti on his driveway because he didn't have the right passport because he hadn't finished the citizenship yet. That's
madness.
Yeah.
And
so
then
now
you
he's
look at
left.
the flip side is, all the stuff that appears like it's coming in compared to what's there and they're getting rid of.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's wild. They're now letting the immigrants in for free or illegally, and they used to have routes where people were doing it legit and bringing investment into the UK. So they had to bring profitable businesses, put money into the UK.
VAT, corporation tax.
They had to hire like 50 people.
Blah blah blah.
Like there was so many elements, and people were doing it, and they were happy to do it.
Yeah.
And I'd work with like Russians, Iranians, Syrians, Indians, like loads of countries, and they were wealthy, and they would invest loads, and then they stopped it. Like fully stopped it, and they revoked a lot of the people that had like St. Kitts and Nevis, like all these second passports that said you weren't allowed in the country. And Trump has just done it in America, and I'm now thinking like, wow, the amount of people that had those that were investing to be able to open up opportunities for their children to educate there is now stopped because they're saying, well, it's not allowed.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like this is a whole other topic.
Yeah.
But, oh my God.
It's wild. It's wild. And I think now, like, I would have never known about that. And most people that probably listen to this won't know about that because
I didn't.
Yeah.
And I understand stuff like that.
Like it was wild. So they stopped it all. But a lot of my clients were like, well, you're living in Dubai, and I think I'm going to come to Dubai. So help me set up a business.
Yeah, it's done you a favour.
Well, me. Yeah, I know how to do that. Don't worry.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a business tomorrow, and then we're going to do it.
Not a skivvy what I was doing, but I just said yeah.
Yeah.
Why would I say no? I was like, I'll find the right person, and I met lovely Hannah that now works for me. So I went to this like her business setup, and I was like, hi, I've got some clients, but will you pay me commission? She was like, yeah, no bother. Turns out the commission she was paying me was actually more than what the passport people were paying me for like the volume. Right. So I was just like to them, do you know what? I've grown out of you guys because they were too lenient on me. When when I can take the piss, I'll take the piss. That's one thing to know about me. Like when I know I can run with it, I'll run with it until I always say ask for forgiveness, not ask for permission. I was the same at school. I was the same at that job, and they laugh like we're all friends now. But I used to go to Tulum, Europe. Like, I'm working from my laptop. I'm networking. Yes, what was that hell? I was, and people were like, can you get me the fake ones? And I was like, no. But I was still getting my salary, and I was like, right. I was probably a little bit gutted as well that all my friends were in graduate programs, and I was like, oh, like I kind of feel like I've failed, and I'm just like in this job, and like although I've got the freedom and flexibility, I was probably a bit jealous. Being like, they seem like they've made it. They're working in like JP Morgan, they're working in like BlackRock, they're working in all these cool places, and I'm like what am I doing in Dubai? Do you know, you just kind of have that bit of like self-doubt. So I met this other crazy guy, and he offered me a job as a PA. But he offered me double the salary. I lied to him. I was getting paid X, I wasn't. But he offered me double the salary of what I was getting paid. And I was like, perfect. I can be his PA, and then I can run my Pride Migration business at the side. Fab. So I done it. I lasted to being his PA 3 weeks.
Why?
Because I'm dyslexic and I've got no organisation. Like, why did I think...
Did you not know that before you started?
Well, I thought I would be able to, like, I thought it was maybe just me. Like, do you get what I'm saying? I was like, oh, he won't notice as long as I'm not organised. But, like, I never really had to be organised beforehand. But when you're a PA, you have to be
a tick box of being a PA is like, be organised, be able to spell. It's like the top two things.
But I'm a great chatter. So I was like, yeah, I'll be able to do it. Like, sweet. And I honestly, I am organised in the sense that I know what's going on. But because I'm so... illiterate in that said, it's all in my head, and like that's what I'm saying. I would actually be a great PA because I've got like 5 things juggling at one time. It doesn't bother me.
You just need a PA to do the admin part.
Exactly. So like I could tell him what he was doing.
Yeah.
But he'd be like, oh, I need it on my Slack, or I need it on email. And I'm like, oh, fucking hell, like bloody hell. So I didn't get sacked. I just said to him one Sunday, I was sitting having a drink. And I was like, I'm gonna leave this because and do you know what it was? I had so much anxiety. Because I knew I couldn't do it. It wasn't I didn't want to do it. I wasn't lazy. But I didn't know how to put it into writing and like add the calendar and like I just didn't know. And I felt really bad probably because of how much I was getting paid. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like this isn't for me. And it's funny, we're still friends, and his business is hundreds of millions of pounds now. Like hundreds of millions. And he was like a really interesting person to meet. And like we still chat back and forth. So like it was good. But that pushed me into just running my business myself because I was like, right, I don't want to work for someone. I've got this business and I can see potential in it because I'm doing no marketing, I'm doing nothing, and people are asking me to set up businesses just because I'm out and about. So that's when I started doing videos. I've been like, hi, I'm Hannah.
I remember that.
Yeah, they were so bad. They were awful.
They weren't that bad.
No,
at least you'd done it.
Yeah, and like I done it, but they were bad. And like I took the leap of like going around real estate agencies and being like, hi, I can show you golden visas and whatnot. And I was really lucky I'd done it then because you could make a lot of money doing golden visas and whatnot now. And I was probably one of the only English people doing it. And at that time, A lot of Russians were moving over. A lot of British were moving over. People just wanted like the safety net. So I done it, and then I done a PowerPoint presentation with Strada, and one of my friends had just gone into off-plan, and Gino had said to me like, why do you not sell off-plan to these guys? Because you're telling us they can't get mortgages for 2 years, but if they buy off-plan, they don't need a mortgage. And I was like, sick idea. And he told me the commission, and I was like, I'm in.
Job number 746.
Legit. I was like, I'm in. Joke on me. Didn't realise how fucking hard it'd be. So like, I've gone from like this steady income again, can do what I want, chilling, going to Verdi during the week, having a nice beach day, like life's living, going to real estate, and I'm sitting there calling not a bloody Scooby. And it was like, I thought uni was hard. This is a full new industry. I didn't know what price per square foot was. I didn't know, like, I had been in Dubai 3 years at the time, but I'd only ever been Business Bay, DIFC, Marina, the Palm. Didn't know any other location. Didn't even know about Arabian ranches at the time. Like, that, to me, that point was like in the wilderness. Because when you come here and you're all living in Marina, you don't venture out. Like, you don't need to know about these other places. So yeah, it was a lot. And I was the second ever employee Strada hired for the new build team. So there was a guy above me called Twanda, and then there was me. Twanda had been in real estate for 3 years or something, smashed it, done JVC and everything. I had came from like basically not really a sales background. It was more people buying people, selling shots. Like, they already wanted it.
That's transferable.
Yeah, like, I'm just the laugh though. This is me having to sell you the dream. Off-plan isn't going into a house and being like, do you like the view? Would you cook here? Would you host events here? How, like, off-plan's not that. Off-plan's is numbers. Off-plan is an investment. Off-plan is risk. Off-plan is selling the dream. Hard. Especially at the time, there was no training or anything at Strada. Strada was new. Strada is not what it was now. Again, me craving startup energy. Like,
you'll be bored of it now. You'll be wanting to go somewhere else.
Genuinely,
give me somewhere shitter so I can be happy again.
No, genuinely, I don't know why, I've genuinely got a craving for it. Most people would be like, go to House and House, go to Allsop and Allsop, go to somewhere that has training. I was like, yeah, Strada. I love Gino, Gary and Che. I just love the chaos of it. I was like, yeah, I'll grow with you. Fantastic. It was probably a bit of a hindrance, but also a major development in my career because, I was hindering myself, probably not learning quick enough because the training wasn't in place. There was no templates. There was no one showing me like, this is what you do. It was basically me just asking questions, learning. I didn't have a script. I didn't get told to write a script. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was a very boisterous environment at the time. It was very Wolf of Wall Street. It was a laugh though. Like, wouldn't change it for the world. The best time I've had, and I still love it there. And so I went into that. It took me until the November I closed my first deal in the first 10 days. Then I didn't close a deal until November. So I closed my first deal in like...
Fucking hell, in 10 days? Yeah. That's mad, is it not? What's that relative to normal?
Most people don't, but it takes them like 6 months to close their first deal. But I think I had a business doing business setup. Like, I had the relationship.
You've got the relationship.
Yeah. So it was an easy sale. Like, to be honest, it was my worst sale because it wasn't my worst sale. I wouldn't say the fault was fully on me. My friend, the guy that bought, I said to him, Shoba Heartland or Dubai Hills. If it was me, I would choose Dubai Hills because I lived in Dubai Hills. And that's what I was saying to you beforehand. Go into somewhere that you're passionate about. I've always loved Dubai Hills, especially back then. I don't really love it now. It's too busy. But I loved it. And I said to him, like, Shoba Heartland or Dubai Hills. And at that time, I didn't understand, like, properly price per square foot. I didn't understand where you were in the off-plan phase. Now I could be like, oh, my God. He never, and I never, we both never together, because it's a team when you invest, identified when he was going to sell. He bought on a project that was sand. He bought it at the cheapest price per square foot. However, that was 2.5 years ago. That is now still not finished. And the community is in. Nothing's finished, but there's about 20 half-built buildings. When it's finished, it will be phenomenal. But Dubai Hills now is a thriving community. So premiums are formed when the community is thriving. So it was that's one of my biggest lessons, because now it's, in hindsight, I should have forced him, being like, pay the more aggressive payment plan, but you'll get the premium harder. Whereas we went for the more relaxed one, but now he needs to sell it and it's quite hard. So after that I didn't do a deal though for 6 months.
You'd done your first deal back. And it wasn't very good.
No, it was a great first deal. No, it's still a great investment. Tom will, if Tom sells it now, he'll not make as much profit, but the next investor that buys it will make a lot of money on it, because it's 10 minutes away from downtown, like Shoba Heartland, there's a lagoon, there's commercial, like it's great. It's just the wrong time frame of when Tom wanted to sell it. Whereas if he'd sold in Dubai Hills, and that's like the beauty of real estate, there's no bad investment, but, and it's all, what I've realised now, it's all about timeline. Like, when are you looking to get out of the investment?
Yeah.
Because if you buy something you're looking to get out in 6 months, I'm really sorry, you wouldn't expect that in the UK. You can't expect that now in Dubai. That was maybe historically you could get that. So then after that, it took me 6 months to close the deal, because that's when I'm like cold calling. Hi, do you want this? And it was hard. And especially like, I'm lucky I went into real estate knowing Dubai. I can't imagine going into it not knowing my way about, because these guys that you're cold calling, they've been investing in Dubai for 20 years and they can sniff out when you don't know what you're talking about. So there was a lot of no's, but there was some phenomenal people that I met cold calling. Like I met the president of Afghanistan's son that I'm now friends with from a cold call. Like, whoa. That's why I love cold calling. Some people hate it. I love it. I probably do, on average, probably like minimum 100 a day, probably 250. I try and aim for it every single day. But that's just me. I don't actually really need to do that every day. But as I said, like, I'm always used to a job being busy. So I always feel like I should be doing something. But yeah, you have some great chats speaking to randomers on the phone. Like, it's a great laugh. You never know. I call it Russian roulette, because you genuinely never know who's going to answer. So then I went in for like this big launch, had all these checks, was like, I've made it, I'm going to make a few million dirhams here, had all these checks ready for villas and townhouses. We never got allocated one. So that was probably my biggest kick in the teeth. Me working really hard, like getting all these EOIs in, first time really experiencing a launch in Dubai, not getting any, like didn't get an allocation. And then me having to build up this relationship. And at that time I was probably a lot more anxious because I was new. Saying like, I'll be able to get one, and then not getting one, and then like the client losing like trust in me, because we were just a small brokerage at the time. So I was so upset, and I was, Chino Cross will tell you, I was bawling, being like, I just don't know if I can do this. I'm earning so much less money because I'm having to now outsource a lot of my business, and I can't do it because I'm trying to focus on real estate. And then that was probably when like I really had to like restructure Pride Migration. Pride Migration will never be big, and it was never set out to be big. It was set out for me just to be able to live in Dubai.
Pay your bills.
Yeah, legit. And it still does that. It's fantastic. So that's when Hala came and like really helped me out there, and she still runs it all and whatnot. And I just put my head into real estate. And then I started selling, and I actually sold Gino's property for him. It's like one of my third or fourth, like one of my early sales in real estate, which was sick. And it was my first investment. Like Gino and Lorenzo bought it for 1.1 million, and I resold it within 30 days for 1.35. Wow. So they made £50,000 in 30 days, which was sick. And like that was something we all broke down together, knowing that if they bought that, it was going to be a really good investment if we flipped it in that time period. And I knew it would happen. So like that was when I really got like the bug for like, I enjoy like the chessboard. I enjoy being like, right, if we buy this and sell at this point, this is what you're going to make it. And I think that was more my enjoyment of economics, like that type of business. Is like, I love that stuff. So then I got into a bit of a role of it. I was like closing deals, like getting into my flow, probably getting a little bit too into my flow. Like I went and bought my car. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But like I still have my car, so it's fine. But like, do you know what I mean? Like I was feeling comfortable. I was feeling confident. I moved out from a studio into my one bed. Got my apartment all nice. Like I was feeling like nice. Got my dog. Like a dog's expensive as well. So I was taking on like actual responsibilities. Whereas before that, I was very frugal. Like I was living in my studio, never eating out ever. Like I would cook everything. I think until I got into real estate, I'd probably done about 5 deliveries ever. Like
I do that a week.
No. Like I never ever. I always used to cook because I was so conscious of not spending too much money. And if I went out, I would always go to like the free places. So I was just really, really frugal. And then when I started making money in real estate, I was just like eating out, Joe and the Juice, Whereas before, I wasn't really thinking as much. And then 5 months, no deals. Yeah, it happened, and it was hard. But I guess it was me as well. I decided then, I had really got confident doing like the 1 million to 4 million, 1 to 7 million price range. And I was like, right, Gino, I'm going to go into the big stuff. Like Six Senses is launching, and I'm a big believer in it. Like I believe in it so much. And he was like, right, if you want to do it, you've got the cash now behind you. I'll leave it up to you. Be aware though, when you go into the big stuff, it takes a lot longer to close. You're more building a relationship. You need to make sure it's good. I was like, no, I believe in it. It's fine. So I went and started doing like focusing on like Six Senses penthouses, focusing on Karl Lagerfeld villas, focusing on District 11. 5 months, no deals.
So he was right.
Yeah, he was right.
He was right.
But do you know what? There was a lot of unluckiness, and like we spoke about it before. Like I had 2 penthouses signed for in signed for in Six Senses. We were just waiting for the payment.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was meant to come meet for the payment with me on, like, we'd been working on this for like 3 weeks. An Iranian guy that I'd been introduced to last summer. We were signing on this like the October. And we're meant to be on the Saturday for the 2 payments. Arranged it all, everything was sorted, moved around the payment plan, because you can do that in off-plan, which is good. Like, I've started to learn that you can tweak things here and there. And Iran got bombed on the Sunday.
That's handy. That's what you need.
That's just, it sums up Dubai real estate though. Like, it
sums up sales. Sales is like that.
Like, you never know what's coming. And I now believe like the deal is not done until it's done. And that was a freaking kick in the teeth. Because I was like, that value was like 50 million dirhams. That's £10 million sale. That was like my biggest sale
so
today.
What would you get in your bank account for that?
That would have been 4% of like both. It was like the 100th floor, so I think it was like 25 and 27. It was something ridiculous. I don't ever look at commission because it hurts more. I never look at commission.
Well, that was why I was asking.
But I think it would probably been around like £500,000.
Yeah, that you would have got, and you've lost out on £500,000 from that.
Yeah, like that was back, and then it was just kind of like spiral from there. There was other Six Senses deal that fell through like Trump, crypto not going on, through the new taxation laws in the UK. There was stuff in Karl Lagerfeld, but I had a guy that was like, yeah, I'm going to buy one, signed for it all as well. And then I think he's just like a Tinder swindler and didn't have the money and just wanted to hang out with me. Like, also weird. That happens because I've obviously, like, Strada taught me to like push marketing on socials, and like I was trying to do a little bit of Pride Migration, but then obviously when I went into sales, like Gary Allen is huge on like push. So I was pushing it, but obviously at that time I didn't have much factual stuff because I was just learning. So it was more stuff of me like looking pretty, drinking coffee, explaining stuff rather than me speaking. And I think that was more confidence of like, I didn't want to say it because I was like, oh, just in case. So I'd make sure like it was okay. Now, if you look to my Instagram, it's all me actually being like matter of fact. You can see the confidence. I know it. I've been through it. Like, I'm confident in myself. When I started, I probably wasn't. And like confidence obviously comes a lot more the more you're posting and everything and more you're speaking. And the podcast has definitely helped with that. And so probably back, that would have been October time. I'd probably been like, a year, I'd say, a proper year into it. So you're obviously going to get Twinder cylinders and everything else, like trying to just chat with you, meet you for coffee. That's what happens in real estate. So then...
Why, that's so weird, eh? Like, why... I couldn't be arsed with that. Like,
I had a deal last week, and the guy has been pestering this agent, been like, I want it. It was a 45 million deal at Oasis. I want it. If you get me the unit, I'll pay for it, blah, blah, blah. I spent 3 weeks negotiating with 2 people that had bought, being like, right, you bought for 38 million. I can close this at 43. So you get, you've put 20% towards this property, 30%, you're getting a 90% return on equity.
I was going to say they'll be doubling the cash.
Yeah, they're doubling the cash, but none of them want it because they know they'll get even more when it's done. Yeah. And like, it's very hard to do that. But I also had to, like, I have to pay. There's a lot of kickbacks in here, which people forget. When you're doing that big a deal, there's usually like lawyers, accountants. There's someone that's an introduction that everyone needs to kind of be paid, or the deal's not worth doing because it just doesn't make sense. So finally got a number. He was happy to pay, like, there were 6 people involved in this deal. He was happy to cover everyone and, like, he was happy with the return. The buyer? Is it number 18? Is it number 17? I was like, it's not either of those, but why are you asking? You're obviously not. And I'm like the middleman. I've got the seller side.
You've pulled everyone along. You've pushed everyone into what you need them to be.
So I've got the POA seller side.
Yeah.
I've got the agent that sold that guy. He's on board. I've got the person that told me he's looking, and the agent of, like, they're stupid. I was like, to the agent that was the buyer, I was like, I'm sorry, he's new into real estate. I was like, he's time wasting. If he's asking all this, he's either wanting to cut everyone out, or he's not actually looking and he's just feeding you along. And it's all learning, but it happens in real estate all the time. Honestly, I never say now, like, a deal is not done until the money's in your bank account. Because a lot of the guys that are buying and selling, you wouldn't happen in any other country because, like, they're not allowed to. Yeah. But, like, here, there's a lot of time wasters. There's also people that I've heard, like, sign for properties on the PAM and not realise if it doesn't go to transfer, they have to pay 10% of the property value. And then they're like, well, I don't have £900,000. They're like, well, why did you sign a property at £5 million and don't have the, like... I don't know, like 20, 25 million, you don't even have 2.5 million plus the fees. Why would you do that? Well, you know what they say, manifesting. Like, it's Dubai market is nuts. Like, I'll never get my head around it ever. And then, so I just had a bit of a whirlwind of this year, the start of this year. Honestly, the amount of times I was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I think the only thing that got me through it was I am very strict on like my routine. So I have like my gym routine. I have my routine of like what I get through during the day, the amount of calls, the amount of meetings I want in every week. And like as long as I was kind of taking that, I was like, right, it's moving in the right direction. And all these people that maybe the deals were falling through, or like they were expecting crypto to go on this big run, they're like, we are going to buy through you. It's just when the timing's right. Yeah. So then I'm also trying to like keep in touch with them, but not pester them too much, to be like, are you ready to buy yet? More just building credibility and relationships and sending them stuff that they would actually want to read, whether that be like the difference between off-plan and new build if you're buying, because a lot of these guys are international, like what are the different fees, to send stuff like that so they can actually read it, and it's not just me being like, hi, you ready to buy? It's me giving them actual information that's useful for them, but with keeping in touch. And then finally we got some deals closed.
Tell me about some of them. Give me some of the big ones.
So a huge win is I actually got a 6 Senses closed this year. Yeah. Thank God. And it was one on the Palm. And it's actually, I'm so buzzing with it because it's such a good investment. Like I know the client, and I actually been speaking to him for a year. Like that's what I was telling you. Follow up, follow back, follow through is the way you do deals in Dubai. But we've been speaking for a year, and I got this phenomenal, like found through my agent network, that was a 6 Senses. The last 5 transactions were 7,500 to 9,000 a square foot. I was able to negotiate the seller down by saying to his agent, like, as I said, it's like the way my head works. I was like, present it like this. He has paid 30% of 12 million, which is what, 4 million dirhams. I'm happy for my client to buy this off you at 14 million. He will give you 4 million extra because it's only on a 40/60 payment plan. So you only have to pay 40% of 12 million, which in turn is what, like 8 million? My client's buying it for 14, so he's getting 80% return on equity and paying it off. So the agent was like, I never thought about that, but we got the deal signed, and we bought it in at 14 million a square foot, which worked out at like 6,700 a square foot, so under market value. It hands over the end of this year. We're putting it back on market at minimum 8,000 a square foot, so you'll get 2,200 profit on what you paid. We're hoping for like that 9,000-10,000 a square foot, which is very easily attainable when you look at One Palm. If you look at Atlantis or Royal, like we're expecting it. So like stuff like that, I get so excited for, because I'm like, I know it works. I know it's going to make money. Like there's no reason it shouldn't make money. You've got it at a good price, and like it's 6 Senses. I love it. So yeah, it was a good win. And obviously now, like especially this week, the last 3 weeks, I've been so busy with like clients I was speaking to the start of the year that were like falling through.
It's the end of summer, isn't it? So people coming back from holidays.
Exactly. And it's like big deals now. Like all the stuff that I feel like I started saying last October, like I'm going to work on it. This weekend alone, there's like 5 deals out that are like multi-millions. To have 5 of them out in one weekend is like, they could all fall through, sweet. I put my hands up, we don't get excited till it's done, but to show that now all those little wins of like keep calling, keeping, like it's actually working. And I broke my foot when I came back from Ibiza, like 3 hours into being at my house, fell up the stairs. And in that time period, like I was really excited to get back to work and like get back on the grind. I was so burnt out by June, like I could barely keep a conversation going. That when I came back from Ibiza, I was so excited to get back to work, and I broke my foot. But in that time, like I just worked from home, I rested and done everything else, and like it's made me think of a business that I'm now building to help with my real estate career through like a pain threshold of being like slowing down and reflecting on the past year and like where the leads are now coming from. And I think if I hadn't broken my foot and slowed down and been able to like really reflect of like the wins, the lows, how can I do better, how should I structure it for the next quarter, I wouldn't have been able to think of this idea. So I always think good things happen when you think all the
good things happen when bad things happen.
Yeah, legit.
Like that's basically what you're saying. I'm exactly the same. Like things that have gone wrong in the past for me, it's like, oh my god, this amazing thing would have never happened if it wasn't for that going violently wrong.
Exactly. So yeah, now we're at like an exciting time. This is obviously the busy part of real estate. The next 6 months is crazy, and I'm now building this AI business. Which
so talk to me about that. What's the story with that?
So it's an AI business. I can't obviously speak too much because it's in the development process, but hopefully it's going to change the way people build relationships and stay in contact with their clients. Everyone's kind of heard of like Salesforce and all these different CRMs, but like you're only getting back what you put in. So if you put in a note, it only kind of tells you the note that you put and when to call back. The thing that I'm building is basically through a very small amount of information tracks them. Their businesses, it tracks their LinkedIn, it tracks their socials, and then it gives you a push to give them a call. Not on, are you ready to buy, but on, congratulations, I've just seen your business has gone public. What are you thinking to do with the profits? Congratulations, just seen your wife's given birth. Congratulations on the expansion of your offices. Rather than just being like, you ready to buy yet? Are you ready to buy? How's the wife? And then I love a meaningful conversation with people, and I do sometimes get so embarrassed when I'm calling up and I'm like, oh, all I've got is they went on holiday. Like, how was the holiday? Do you know what I mean? Whereas I think it'll be a really good way to build fruitful relationships that in turn people are like, oh, you actually care? Yeah. So yeah, it's really exciting, and it's something I've never gone into, and I'm building it with really smart people. And I love being the thickest in the room, and I'm always like, would it work this way? And I have been everywhere and everything. Everywhere and everything. I've done research and this product is not on the market. It's not been made yet. There's elements of it, but we're basically bringing the elements together and putting it in a centralized location. It's freaking hard because we're going to have to do a lot of equity raising and everything else, which is a full new game for me. And I've got them.
It's shite doing that.
Yeah. And it's an obligation. It's not even something that you have to be excited about. You're obligated to make money or it doesn't work. So I'm lucky I've got the funds to build it until it's a website. But I've not got the funds to build it into an app and everything, which I obviously want it to be. So right now I'm having a ChatGPT and best friends what do you do? So right now I'm building the marketing campaign, and we're not this won't come out until December, and we're only in August. So it's exciting. I've never done something. Everything I've built in the past has been a service. It's been serving drinks, helping you do
time
this.
for money.
Yeah. Always. Whereas this is me building something from the ground up on an idea and learning about a complete different aspect of business that I've never been in, and working with someone from Canada and someone from Switzerland on Zoom. Yeah, it's a really mad process, but it's a really exciting process. And I keep saying to myself, if it fails, sweet. It fails. It's a really great learning. I'm 26, to be able to build something and learn about raising equity and getting funding from governments and whatnot is super cool. It could feel sweet, but at least I've got all the contacts of the people I've met. Who cares? It'll be a great little lesson. But I'm really hopeful that it'll become a unicorn company.
So is that the target? You want it to be a unicorn company?
I really want it to be a unicorn, so badly. So badly. But the reason I want it to be a unicorn company is, one, I'm obsessed with successful people. And I think I want it to be a unicorn company because I use it. I built it for me. However, when I've started telling people about this agent that I'm building, I'm not going to say the name because I don't want anyone to buy anything of it that's going to put me across up. But it's got a sick name as well that's really catchy. But any time I tell people about it, they're like, oh my God, I would use that in my business, and I would pay fortunes for that. Because I work in high ticket sales. I speak on average to probably 3 new people a day, an actual conversation. That's not me diverting the 250 calls I've done, the 2 meetings minimum I've sat, or 1 meeting, and a follow-up. That is me just an average 3 people a day. I've been in real estate now 2.5 years. I've been business set up 3 years, and I've been in Dubai 6 years. All the traveling, all the people you meet. There's so many people that I probably have spoken to, got their email and number, and kind of forgotten about them. Maybe they're there's a client I'm dealing with right now that we're looking at a deal of over 100 million. It's 12 months in the pipeline, this deal. We can only buy it when his business gets sold in America because of taxation purposes. Now, obviously, I'm going to keep in contact with him. That's over a £20 million deal, and the unit is still there. This is a huge deal. But, imagine if I was, someone that was just, completely forgot about him. And, imagine if me and him hadn't got that good of a relationship that I can just text him, how's business? How's this, Y, and Z? And it was just me going, hi, not knowing too much about him. It'd be hard. This application that I'm building will basically remind you to message them, not on the notes you've given, but on information out there that they're attached to. So it'll be easier for me to go, oh my God, just seen your business sales gone through, or oh my God, just seen you moved apartment, how is it? And think of all the people I probably met that if I had just got their basic details that could keep up, that it would be so much. It's giving me a nudge, you should speak to this person, by the way, because XYZ. And that's where I see, that's where I get excited. And I deal with a lot of other people, whether they're in whiskey sales, art sales, wealth management, that are I would love that because everyone that does high tickets, whether it's in investing or in sales, like they need to know that vital information for when to be like, I'm going to tie the knot now. Sometimes you can message someone and it's not the right time. And if you had just done a little bit of research, you would have known that. Maybe they're in court for mad, like they're getting sued. They don't want you to call them and be like, ready to buy real estate. They're like, fuck off. And then obviously if you don't know them, remove that swearing. But if you don't know them, you can then go, I don't want to speak to them again. Like, they're really going to hate me. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm so, like, don't care that I honestly, I was telling you earlier, I messaged someone 9 times with no reply. 9 times with no reply. Being like, hey, how are you? How's business? Like, no reply, no reply, no reply, no reply. And I'm still going because I'm like, follow back, follow up, follow through. Calls me on Friday. Hi, Hannah, just arrived. Do you want to go for a coffee? Sorry, not being in contact, being so busy. Yeah. Now we're like hopefully closing in the next week a £3 million deal on something I've just been basically speaking to the bloody WhatsApp, getting no reply for the last 8 months. And now he's like, yeah, that's the unit I want, like blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And that's like the brutality of sales. Most people give up when you've got 3 replies. They're like, oh, they're not ready to buy yet. Yeah. And like, I guess that's fine if you're doing the smaller stuff, like fair enough. But when you're trying to get into that high ticket game, like you're barely going to close a deal within a week or 2 weeks or even a month of meeting someone, unless it's a referral. A referral is much easier to close it in a short period of time. When it's a cold lead, it does take that few months of getting to know each other, making sure they're safe, making sure that they want to also do due diligence on you. They want to make sure that you're not just in it for the money. They want to make sure that it's like a companionship, it's a partnership, that you are advising them correctly and like you know your stuff. And that's why it's so imperative to have like a brand on social media that if they do some research on they kind of know that you are who you say you are, you know what you're speaking about, like there's no bad reviews, there's no one saying like they ran off with all my money, like your brand is huge in this type of industry. So yeah, that is the next step, and it is me just going again, like Strada's got to a point now, it's a big company, there's 100 employees, we've got systems in place. That's probably me going, let's do it again. Yeah. Let's get to another startup. But let me lead it this time. I've worked on all these startups and this is like a pressure point of something that I can use. So even if I don't take it public and even if I can't sell it, I can go, well, do you know what? It's going to be really useful in what I do. Yeah, yeah. That it will help me make money.
What's your proudest moment or thing?
Proudest
or period or whatever?
I don't know. I'm really bad at this. I'm really bad at like pinpointing points of life being like, that was really good. Maybe because I'm a really positive person that I always see like every day's a win. I'm like, I've got this done. I wouldn't really say I would say like my proudest moment is like getting into uni time after time, especially when
7 times I did it.
Yeah, but like I only done it 3 times, but like the time and time after I done it because I was so like no one understands unless you went to school with me like how dyslexic I was. I had 2 teachers follow me from class to class from 4 years old till 13. Like genuinely so dyslexic, so dyslexic, and like to have my headmaster say like, oh, you can't move to this school because you're not smart enough. To them like, oh, will you get into uni? Oh, you've got into uni. And like everyone, whenever I prove someone wrong is usually when I'm like the proudest moment. There isn't like a pinnacle and point. It's like when I close my first deal, I'm proud of it. Like every deal I close, I'm proud of it because it's always like we're one step closer to here, one step closer, and like going from like the first deal, which was 1.8 million, and now we're getting up to deals of like 14 million, and now we're hopefully going to start closing deals at like 20 million, 40 million, 50 million. Like that to me is like we're always doing it a step up. Even when I go on holiday to Ibiza, every year I go to Ibiza, I try and do it something a little bit better than the year before. Yeah. So like getting that better table, getting on that better boat, getting on that like me getting the bill. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. I've gone to Ibiza more than 20 times. But every single time I've done it, I've never been like, oh my God, it was worse than last time. It's been like better than last time for like my own little goal because I'm always chasing to get to like that next level because nothing will ever be enough. So I wouldn't say there's like one moment I've been like, oh my God, I smashed it. It's more because you'll be the same, you're a business owner. You get to it and you're like, I want more.
It's a hedonic treadmill. I've spoke about this about 1 million times where whatever point you get to, have you heard of the hedonic treadmill? Wherever you get to, you want 3.3 times wherever you're at. And it's just that over and over and over again.
Is it like my car? I got a Porsche 911. I bought it for my 25th birthday. I have wanted that car since I was about 12.
What car do you want now?
Oh, as soon as I got it, I was like, I want a Ferrari Spider. Soon as I got it. And I was like, next car I'm going to get 30. Ferrari Spider black.
Yeah.
And everyone was laughing, like, you just got a Porsche. And, like, a Porsche is nothing. I'm lucky it's gone up in value because I've stopped making it. Like, I'm very, very lucky with that investment. But it's not really investment. It's gone up in value, though. Like,
that's fortunate.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate for it. I mean, it's a little bit skill. I'm great at negotiations. But, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not the best. Like, I probably should have bought a property before I bought that car. That's fine.
Maybe, yeah.
Make mistakes, whatever. But I always say it's a marketing tool because, let's be serious, it's very hard to be a good real estate agent in this game.
Yeah.
Rocking up in a nice car outside, they're like, oh, fucking hell, she must actually know her shit.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of grant that bit of, like, listen to me before you see it. And that's probably why I still have it. And, like, that's why I love it so much, is because anywhere I go, people still say, like, what do you do? Like, that's a really nice car. And I am really young to have it. But even that, like, that was on my vision board. And I always just say, if I could buy a car, that's car I'd buy. And it was the first car I ever bought myself. So it's like, there was a lot of, like, emotional aspects. I don't think I'll ever sell it. I'm so emotionally attached to it. But, like, as soon as I got it, I was like, yeah, black Ferrari Spider, that's what I want.
That is exactly it. That is a Dominic treadmill.
Like, even the houses, like, I'm looking at a house right now to invest in. I'm like, as soon as I got this one, I want that one. Like, it's never just like, yeah, great, that's what I got. It's like, right, I want that one. Yeah. And it's just what happens when you're an entrepreneur, when you're a business owner. Same. And, like, every single time I invest, it's like back to the bread line. It's as if I have a craving of being like, I love being at that risk. I love being on that treadmill of, like, the chase of, like, right, I've got here. Most people would be like, right, I've got the nice car, I've got the nice house, I've got this. Let's just chill. Let's just keep on this level. I'm already like, right, as soon as I get this payment, put it straight into that property. There's no, like, me just chilling out. It's like...
You crave uncertainty.
Yeah.
So I did this Tony Robbins thing, and it was, like, all these different things. There was, like, 6 different things, like certainty, uncertainty, something else and something else. And everybody wanted the certainty, nobody wanted uncertainty. So yeah, I was at this Tony Robbins thing where there was all these different things that people want to, like, their kind of core things or core needs. It was like certainty, uncertainty, there was love, connection, something else. And the main thing that everybody wanted was certainty. Yeah. Like, the whole room, everyone was like, oh, certainty. And then it came to uncertainty, and there was, like, 5 people put their hands up of, like, the thousands, and I was one of them. And it's like, what? I thought everyone was like this. And it sounds like you're the exact same, that you want the uncertainty. The startup stuff, all that sort of stuff.
I crave it. I crave it so much. It's like the thrill of it. It's wild. My parents get so nervous about me, honestly. Because my sisters, like, they're all in sales, they're great at it, but they all have a very, like, certain life. They kind of know what's happening. But my life as a child as well, it's always been like, woo, woo, woo. Like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Everything's been unconventional, but it's just what I love. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know if I'll ever change, because even when I'm, like, starting new businesses, I'm like, let's just do this, all me. Yeah. Most people are like, right, we're going to get a loan. And I'm like, it's fine, I've got a credit card. I'll pay it back in a month if I need to. Just pay the minimum amount. Like, most people are like, oh no, my credit score. And I'm like, it's fine. I'll make millions. I'll just be able to buy it in cash. Like, I am ahead. Yeah. Like, most people be like, you're carnage. Don't want to do it. Yeah. And I am definitely getting better now, like, doing research of, like, where to actually. Before, I would just wing it. Everything was winging. But I think the more you learn and the more people you meet, if you're a good person, and, like, as I say to you all the time, like, my biggest thing is, like, trust is built on transparency divided by self-interest, and that is so easily seen from the get-go that now I'm saying to people, I'm going to start this business. People are dying to help me. They're like, oh my God, you can apply for this. Like, you can do this, you can do that. Whereas before, I wasn't probably in that level, whereas most people now are trying to give me as much advice and everything for free. Whereas I would have probably been like, it's fine. I've got that amount in my bank. I'll pay for it till here. And then if we need anything else, I'll put it on me. Whereas now they're like, Hannah, no, like, get this investment, do this. So it's so interesting to see, like, how much you learn every time you do it. But I do definitely crave the uncertain, 100%. The unknown, the challenge.
Right, talk to me about some of the challenges you faced along the way. Obviously, we spoke about the Iran thing, we've touched on some of that, but you've had a crazy existence. Yeah. Talk to me about some of the things.
The biggest challenges is I probably not realised how big the challenges were until looking in hindsight. Yeah. Like, moving to Dubai at 21, not really knowing many people here, family being back home, starting businesses, doing the unknown. There are probably huge challenges, but I am always the person, it's just like, I don't look too much into the future, I don't look too much to behind. I always say how to eat an elephant one bite at a time. Yeah. So I probably never realised how, like, crazy it is or how stressed I'm. There's been times in Dubai that I've had, like, My American Express back home maxed out. My Dubai bank account, like nothing in it, and me going, how am I paying rent?
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, like I'm manifesting and I've just dropped a deal and everything's paid. Like, but that's just what happens in like real estate. That's what happens as an entrepreneur. Like I'm lucky because it's not been in millions, it's not been in hundreds of thousands. I've got a very small credit limit, but still, like it's still stressful, especially when I was single, like no family. I'm like, you're sitting there going like, I better keep calling. I need to get a deal. Or like, someone please open up your business now. Like, we'll do a good offer. Do you know what? So there's probably been, again, like the hardest time in my life probably in Dubai was between November and March. November to January was sweet. There was no stress. February, March, stressful. My sister was getting married. I was going to Kurzweil. I knew like the expense. I knew all that. I knew I had a car payment. I knew I had my rent payment. I know there was a lot of stuff that I was like, bloody hell, like how am I getting through this? And like, I'm very lucky. I don't take all my money out of Strata. I give Strata a fund for like the year, and I'll tell them to pay me monthly as like a salary.
Right.
Because I know what I'm like. I see all that money, I'm like, woohoo, let's go party. But I knew in April that was the last payment. The fund was gone.
Yeah.
That was it, and I was going straight on to like living off Pride Migration. Now I can do that, but when I'm paying like in Dubai, you obviously pay your rent a few months up front. You've got car payments. I have like editors. I have marketing, and I was like, fuck. Like shit, and I start closing deals and I was fine. But like that was probably the mental stress of that, and like doing a podcast at the time, paying for the podcast studio. And that's the thing, like even though I was making good money last year, I was still like, let's make myself better, let's start the Pride and Shine, let's do this, let's do that. And that's a lot of money to just be like, that was 20k a season. I done 4 seasons. That's the best part of £20,000, not including like how much I earned in that period of time doing it, and when I worked out how much I made per hour, like it was a lot of money. Me not wasting on it. There was no wasteful, but what I set out to do in Pride and Shine was to generate leads from real estate. I didn't generate. And
instead, you were spending your money from real estate.
And not
generating leads.
Not generating leads. I learned such great things. I became such a better speaker from like the first episode, how I carried myself. Being able to now do sales and keep conversations going because I was meeting strangers. Like there was so much good that came out of it. Free coaching, amazing stuff. But that's when I had to look back on it and be like, the return of investment. I set out to do lead generation. There's been no lead generation. There's been a lot of self-development, a lot of great things, but you need to know when time to call it quits. Like go spend that marketing elsewhere. That was a budget for that. It wasn't a budget for a hobby. And
it's a big old budget if you put it properly into marketing. 100%. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And think, like, that's the best part of £20,000 for a single girl in Dubai. I'm such a perfectionist. I wanted the best studio and everything. Maybe that's my bad thing, but I never want to put out something that's bang av. Like, I'm just not that person. I'm like, right, let's do the best. But also that did eat into a big portion of, like, elsewhere the resources could have been. Would I do it again? 100%. Did I learn some great? 1,000,000. But obviously that's the reason I was actually going to do a season 5, and the amount of people that have been pestering me like, please can I come on it, because I come across, and the podcast comes across good. It comes across very much like this, Callum. It's like a free-flowing conversation. Someone's not getting interrogated. The why behind it was really strong. I wanted to build, and I have done it. I've built a thesaurus of 40 individuals. I have businesses from different areas in Dubai. There wasn't many businesses the same, and like how they done it. And what advice would you give to someone to do it again? Yours is more of the story. Am I giving people advice? Probably not. Mine was more like, what bit of advice would you give to someone that's coming to open a Glampatech business? How would you do it different? What would be the yes and no's? Because and you are like, we're very fortunate that we've got people around us that have done it and are happy to help people. So I know loads of people that come from the UK that don't have the same network. So like the why behind it was like, tap into my network, pretend you're a fly in the wall, and listen to the podcast, and maybe you'll get a few tips if you want to open a hairdresser's or whatnot. So it was a good incentive, but did it set out what I was supposed to do? No. So sometimes you have to just cut the cost. And it was really bad. Like, this is what I realised. I feel so bad letting people down. I felt like I was letting people down finishing the podcast. There wasn't even that many views. Like 40,000 views on YouTube isn't that much when you compare it to what YouTube is now. But I felt like I was letting people down because so many people would message me being like, oh my God, Hannah, that really helped. Like, you've really benefited me. Or like, people would be like, can I come on your podcast? And it would, although there was some really annoying times, but most times like they got really good use out of it, and it helped build their public portfolio and like help them maybe gain equity and stuff now. And like obviously now I'm building this AI, like this is really now the podcast Pride and Shine really is helping me now gain credibility going into this new business, because there's 40 hours of me sitting, having conversations with other business owners, helping people that at that time, did I know it would help me with this new business? Absolutely not. But in hindsight, it has. Yeah. So that was hard to be like, I'm not doing it anymore, because I felt like I was letting people down.
I think it takes a lot to go, you know what, I'm going to stop doing that. Like when you're in a rhythm of something, I think it's actually sometimes harder to go, no, I'm going to stop this, than just carry on even though there's no point.
I could have, but would have ran up probably debt and like lived more on the breadline for summer. Like what was the point for what? For me going, I just don't want to let anyone down, and I want to make sure to show people that I done I done it for a year. I done May to May. There was 40 episodes because we had 2 weeks in between each season
series of 10.
To have like a break to like edit it. It consumes you every week, filming, meeting new people, learning about them, researching, along with helping people set businesses up. And I'm like happy to sit and chat to people and do real estate. Like it consumed me, but I had to just be like, do you know what? It's enough. So it was hard. It was really hard to stop. And the amount of people asked me, like, am I doing the right thing? And they're like, it was Sarah that helped me break it down. She was like, look at the cost and look how much you've got back. And if you're not a multi-millionaire or you're not a huge business player, why are you spending that much money on it when it's not set out what it's meant to do?
When you look at it proportionate to like your other life costs or your other business costs even, and that was what I was saying about like that being a good marketing budget, like you compare that to probably, that'll be more than the entirety of everything else you spend on your business probably.
100%. And people forget, like I think because Pride Migration is little bit like my business, and when you work for Strada, you're working for the brand, but you're working for yourself. Yeah. Like we don't have to be in 9 till 5. We don't have to be in anything. We just have to be in show respect. I go in every morning at 9 and sit and have a chat. Gino does not tell me what to do. No. I can plan my day the way. He does not tell me what to record to put on Instagram. Like it's all your own initiative. There is no requirements. It's like the people that you see work for Strada, they're fully running their own business under that brand. It's not like your Allsops and Allsops or House and Houses where it's like you work for them. Like you're working individually for Strada. Strada's just the logo. Yeah. Just budge that. And so now I'm very bad and I shouldn't do it, but I don't think I'll ever do it because I just see everything as like mine. I factor in, I've got like appointment setters that run off my Instagram. I've got a marketing person. I have a marketing strategist. I've got a content creator. I have a lot of people to pay and I just pay out my own salary. Yeah. Because I'm just like, why would I take it out? Like I pay myself the business. I pay myself from Strada, so just take it out of mine. Yeah. I don't need to have I need to get better, and this is probably my bad financials. I probably should have a pot for me and a pot for the business, but I just merge it all together. So at the end of the month, I know like I've got X amount to pay for X, Y, Z. Yeah. And it includes everything, business to individual, because I just see it all as it's like my personal brand. And that's when I probably could have kept going with Pride Migration, but at the end of the day, it was probably making me lose sales with anxiety of like, at the start especially, I had such bad anxiety because I was so bad at pronunciation of words. When I was at school, I had to go to elocution to help me speak because my dyslexia would, like I couldn't pronounce the words, like it was like a tongue twist. So when I started speaking in front of the camera, and people, I'd get people in trouble for it. When people correct my pronunciation and spelling all the time, I'm like, let me be. Please just let me be. Yeah. Like, you know I've got dyslexia. You know I can't pronounce it. See, every time you nitpick at me, I'm like, I get it.
I don't get why people do that, though.
It's so annoying. That's the most annoying thing in business.
I think, like, what's the point of you saying that?
Obviously, it's so annoying. But some people don't even know they're doing it, and they think they're helping you. Yeah. But when they don't know you, you can realise how detrimental it can be, because then you just kind of get a bit nervous and you don't want to speak. Like, I still get really nervous even speaking up at a team meeting of a business that I've worked for 3 years, because I'm like, what if I say it wrong?
You know everyone well.
And like I still get that. So when I started the podcast especially, and like the reason this has probably been able to flow so much is I've done 40 hours of it. I'm fine now. But at the start, I sometimes wouldn't even listen to what the person would say because I'd be so scared, being like, how do you pronounce that business name? I'm like, and honestly, there's a funny one with Johnny Dodge. We redone that intro about 50 times because his business is called, I'm going to get it wrong now, but his business is basically Your Jet Skies. I kept going Skies Jets. I kept saying it wrong. And then the more flustered I was getting, the harder it was for me to then do it. And then like I would meet people for the first time, I'd be like, how do you pronounce their name? Or like, how do you pronounce their business? Or like, I'd done so much research and in my head I can see it and I know it. But the pronunciation of it,
I do my intros at the end now, so I don't need to do that. You'll have noticed I didn't do your intro now, even though I know you and it would have been easy. I still just do them all at the end.
Well, I pre-recorded them all. Yeah. Because it was flustering me so much. But even when I'd be like, doing the research on people, and they had such amazing stories, I would get so flustered being like, and this and I'm like, oh my God. And like, so that's what I'm saying, there was so much benefit in learning, but people didn't realize the anxiety and like the stress I would have going into it, or like rewatching the edits, or like making sure that I had it. When I get really excited, I swear a lot. It's really bad, but I get really excited, I'm passionate, that I'll maybe say F and never like that. But it's just like me getting excited, or me speaking too fast and not thinking, that just slips out badly, really bad habit. Or like, I would say something wrong and I would just be thinking like, oh, let me get to that point. When do you think I said it? Like, did I say it right? And there'd be sometimes I'd have to do a voiceover being like, oh, that's butchered. And like all these little things that I was just like, do you know what? I've learned a lot. Enough's enough.
Are you an anxious person?
To everyone, I'm confident. I'm Hannah.
You don't
I know
appear
everyone.
Anxious, but it sounds like there might be like a layer
There's
of
a
underneath.
huge layer of underneath that I get stressed out. I want to be like the best. I want to be like the top of the game. I want to know I know everything. I obviously, and I probably human nature, like I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I'm very chaotic, and I'm very aware of my downfalls. Hence why I always get people around me that are really good at complimenting what I'm bad at. So I'm a great speaker. I'm great at presenting. I'm rubbish at admin. I'm rubbish at editing. So why pretend? Why learn? Like, let's just speed up the process, hire someone for it, and I'll continue doing what I'm good, and let's scale fast. Behind closed doors, I'm probably very like conscious and nervous of like, I get stressed, but like in front of people, absolutely not.
You can tell that in between the stuff they say, it's like you're really outgoing and like loud and stuff, but you can tell there's that little bit of like even anxiousness.
You're probably the same, especially now, like I'm in sales all the time. I'm great around people that I know and I'm confident around. I'll be the loudest in the room. I'll be dancing on tables. I'll be the chaotic one. You'll be thinking I am the biggest outgoing person. If you ask me to go for dinner with 14 people that I don't know after a week of work, I'll probably bail. 9 times out of 10 I'll bail. Because I'm a bit of an introvert, because then I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to speak to everyone, and then I'm going to have to blah, 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 and then I'm going to probably forget, and I just get so over in my head, and I'm like, I just don't want to go.
Yeah. We're very similar with that. Not so much, I guess there maybe is a bit of anxiety in like group settings with random people, but it's weird though, because I could go and stand on a stage in front of 100 people that I don't know, no problem at all, easy.
Same.
But like going and talking to a random person in a room, wow.
Yeah, same, absolutely same. When I've got like Hannah Pryde, work Hannah, sweet, can speak to anyone, not scared of anyone, will tell you how it is. Hannah at home, in like a social environment, just want to chill, don't really want to speak about work, want to have a laugh. Yeah, I've got a really small circle, really, really small circle that I'll actually open up to and like have really good time with. I'm just very like, I just like doing my own thing. Like I'm so confident in myself and like spending time by myself that I don't really need a lot of people. And I think my job requires me to be like, Hannah, like woo, all the time. That at the weekend and when I'm on holiday or when I'm just going out for like a casual dinner, if I don't think I'm making money at the dinner, as naive, like as bad as that probably sounds, like I don't really want to go sit and have small chat because I don't need to.
Yeah.
Like I don't actually want to because I don't need to. It's my job to do it during the week that I have to go sit and speak to random people and like present myself. But at the weekend, if I don't want to do it,
I'm exact same.
I'm just like, no, please don't make me. I'm such a nightmare for it. But it's definitely an entrepreneurial thing because everyone I speak to is the same.
It's like an introverted extrovert.
Yeah, it's like in your business or in any job you're at, you become someone confident. Confidence isn't you're born with. Confidence is a state of mind. Being good at sales isn't something you're born with. It's something you teach. Yeah. Like I always say that to people. You don't come out the womb and be like, I'm going to be a billionaire or I'm going to be really good at business. It's all about learning. But if you're really into that and you're really into taking risk and you're really into your job, when it comes to like turning off, you just actually want to turn off. Whereas I think some people that maybe just have a 9 to 5 that's maybe only using 30% of their brain capacity, that's why they love going out and socialising and meeting all these new people. Because they've got some battery left. Yeah. Whereas I am drained. Like my boyfriend, honestly, unbelievable worker. He's up every morning 5 a.m. doing meetings without fail. I've never, in the year I've been with him every single day. Even when we're in America, he's doing deals. Like, he's crazy. He's really good at his job. And me and him both laugh because maybe behind closed doors, we'll probably just look like we're just doing a normal job. We don't post everything. But probably from the crack of dawn in our household, we are up until 12 o'clock at night, 9, 10, 11, 12. There could be meetings going on. And it's just like that constant pace. There isn't like a switch off. There isn't someone to be like, right, we're done. It's just always on the go. So when it comes to the weekend, like I just want to hide in my bed, stroke my dog and just be like, I don't want to speak to anyone. I've even got meetings today, like it's a Sunday, we're doing a podcast on a Sunday, like it just is, there isn't an exact day that I'm like, we're off, it's done.
I agree. Tell me about a time that you cried.
Oh, when did I last cry? I thought I was going to cry today, but I didn't know what I was going to cry about.
What?
I think it was just hormonals. When did I last cry? I'm not an emotional person. I think I've got a man's mind. I'm very logical.
Yeah.
Women are normally really emotional, like really emotional. I'm not emotional. I get called a heartless cow all the time. All my friends come to me advice because I'm the one that isn't going like, oh, it's okay. I'm like, right, you're stressed. Right,
this is how we'll fix it.
Yeah, this is how we'll fix it. Like, one of my friends called me crying this week, just started a new business, and I was like, right, so we've got a cash flow problem. What we'll do is put a private offer this week that you're going to do a one-off content shoots, 500 dirhams, 1,000 dirhams in these locations. Let's get the cash flow in. Let's forget about that. We know that's going to be fixed in 3 months sound. And like, it was a bit much for her, but I was like, this is what I need to do. There's no point crying. It's just going to give you red tears. Let's find a problem. And that's just how I am with life. I think unless I'm like probably on my period, I'm going to cry. But most of the time I'm like, as I said, like I'm never looking too far ahead into the future, too far behind. I'm always looking like, this is the way out. This is the problem solved. This is what you should do. And I'm very matter of fact. Like, my parents absolutely hate it sometimes. Like, my mum's a business owner, but it's a family business and whatnot, and they're all pretty emotional. I'm very much like, time is money, money is time. This is what you have to do. You're not the only person in this position. Get the lawyer and blah, blah, blah. That's just how my brain works. I am not the person you come to when you're crying going, Hannah, I'll tell you it's all right. If you're crying because you look ugly, go to the gym.
No.
Like, if you don't want to take your picture, like, that's a you problem. That's not someone else's problem. I am just not that person. I'm always the person being like, there's more hours in the day. There's no excuse. When you hear of some of these people that are multi-billionaires that look absolutely phenomenal, do you think they were crying in their bed going, I can't do it because I look ugly and I'm not like, no, they were just getting on with it and like always finding a problem. So I don't really cry. I'm very hard, and I'm even harder than my little sister. Like, my little sister is 14. And she's like, I want to come to Dubai, I want to do this, I want to do that. I mean, Sonny give her like tasks and we'll maybe pay like for a flight and what's come out. And she learns a lot from me to the point she was like, I want to do X, Y, Z. She ended up buying 500 Oasis hats from AliExpress on a 30-day return period for free. She sold them all in one night in Oasis, walking around with a coat hanger. She's 14.
That's
14.
Class.
She made $5,000.
That's amazing.
Like, but that's how, because I was like, she was like, I really want to come. And like, my parents were like that. My parents are still like that, but they were like with us all. Like, you can do what you want as long as you can pay for it. Like, we're not going to stop you as long as you can afford it. And like, when she was 12, she bought her first Louis Vuitton bag in Courchevel because she sold all my clothes in my wardrobe on Vinted. And not much to not my surprise, because she was like, do you use them? She didn't tell me she was going to sell them. She was like, do you need them? And I was like, no. So up they went on this, like, on Vinted and sold them and bought her first handbag. And like, she'll come to me sometimes be like, Mum's not doing this, it's new. And I'll be like, Florence, you're 14, like, sort it out yourself. Go, like, why do you not make a business? Like, there's so much stuff on ChatGPT you could do. Like, when I probably have children, they'll hate me because I'll probably be like, why don't you try this, do this, do this. Like, I'm always like, it doesn't really matter about school grades, but you could go learn a new hobby, or you could go learn a new sport, or like go do
100%.
this. There's no reason for you to be bored. If you're bored, you're a boring person. That's how I see it. There's so much learning. There's so much information you can take in. Like, Florence is 14 and I'm fully sending her Alex Hormozy podcasts and like Emma Grandi Aspire podcasts. Like, these people are super successful. She's 14. If she went into a business class and I told her to teach it, they probably wouldn't know who they are if they're just
like,
teaching.
what are you talking about? Podcasts are stupid.
Yeah, genuinely. So I always like don't ever have time for people moaning. And even when I've been in like States, I've been like, how can I afford it? I've never gone, bar that one time Gino, I cried. But like, ask Gino, like, I'm not someone that comes here and goes, woe is me. I'm here being like, I've thought of this idea, how to get around it. Can you help? Do you think that would be good? What do you not think? I'm not going to sit there and donder and be like, hope it's going to be all right.
Yeah, that sounds like the exact answer I would give to my life coach when he asked me a tough question. Oh, well, what is it? What is it? No, none of that.
It's like that's what I'm saying. I wish I cried. Sometimes, so there was one time probably a few months ago, I was like, I really just want to sit and cry. Maybe I'll put a really emotional film on. And I get so distracted by my phone and business that I don't even watch the film and I don't know what's going on, so I can't cry.
Fair enough. Have we missed anything? Good,
no,
bad, ugly?
I don't think so.
Crying?
I mean, sadly, I can't cry. You're going to make me cry now. No, nothing.
Another job that you didn't speak about? Another university that you went to that you didn't go to?
No, everything I think spoken about. Only, like, everything, like, every area of my life is spoken about. We've probably not touched on coaches. I really believe in coaches and reading. And, like, there's always, as I said, like, with Florence, there's always a way to get better. There's no reason not to. So I think we've spoken about everything. I've not got that. I told you before you got me in, I've not got that big a story. I'm not a multi-million billionaire yet.
Not yet. One day.
One day. We'll record this in a few years and hopefully
we'll do another one, round 2.
And we'll have something more interesting. But yeah, that's my story. That's how I got here.
Right, where do people find you? Where do you want them to go?
Follow me on Pryde, Hannah_Pryde on Instagram, because by Christmas especially we'll be really flying out on this new business, because we're filming the journey right now of building it out, which I think is always the most fun. And obviously if you want to find out about real estate or being an agent in Dubai, I broadcast a lot on there, like probably too much. You'll probably get sick of me, but if you're interested in moving to Dubai investing, that's where all is.
If they've made it this far in the podcast, they'll probably not get sick of you. They'd have got sick of you an hour ago if they were going to.
Like, Hannah, shut up.
Hannah, thank you very much. It's been great.
Thank you so much for having me.